to code. We are continuing on here at, you know what? No, we aren't going to continue on at Free Code Camp. We're actually going to set Free Code Camp to the side. Just for tonight, we are actually going to jump back to Code Wars and see if we can knock out something there instead. So, Code Wars, let's go ahead and find ourselves a CADA to tackle. It's been a while. It has been like a good 2, maybe even 3 weeks. We'll call it 2 weeks. Time goes slow here in our stream. So we're looking for level 2. No, we're doing most completed, and then something level 7, followed by fundamentals. Yes, good. That's what we were doing before. Let's do a quick rundown that we have everything we need. We have mic audio, check. Little kitty, right on time. Checkity check. You're doing things, cat. We also have our webcam. Will you just pick a spot, tiny cat, and lay down? We do have things blocking your napping spot on the desk, so I will give that to you. Let's move. No. Those cookies are not meant to be napped on. Oh my god. Okay, look at this. Ah, your claws. Your claws. There. She's set. She's happy. She's all good. She's covered in fur. Mildly napping. Ah, dee. Okay, so we didn't even get to go all the way through our checklist. We've got mic audio, check. Little kitty, golden. Webcam, set, and chat. We are good to go. And now we have our CADA. Almost have our CADA. So, wow, we've done quite a bit here at Code Wars. We came across Beginner Series somewhere else, and it wasn't the first one. And we agreed to skip any series that ranked higher on the list if we hadn't initiated the first one of that series. So we're going to skip that one for now. X's and O's. It's been a while since we've done a CADA here at Code Wars, but we're going to go ahead and dive into it and give it our best shot. All right, so X's and O's. What needs to be happening? Frankly, 1. Check to see if a string has the same amount of X's and O's. The method must return a Boolean and be case insensitive. The string can contain any character. Examples, inputs, outputs. XDOOX, true. XOOXX, false. OX, capital XM, true. ZP, true when no X and no O is present, should return true. ZZ and OO is false. Okay, fair enough, fairly straightforward. I think we can come to terms with that. Let's go ahead. Wow. You know, we've been doing Free Code Camp for just long enough where we really started to feel comfortable at Code Wars, but then we stopped and did Free Code Camp, and that totally set us back to square one again. So we're going to be looking for something counting. How would we do this? X and O, we would want, we're going to have a variable. Do we call it X? Yeah, variable X. We'll do X capital X. and that will equal, it will start at 0. It's going to start at 0, and variable O, capital O, will also start at 0. We're going to need, I want to say we're going to need a for loop. For, let's see, for blank, blank, blank. God, I can't even remember how to write a damn for loop. For something, we're going to need I equals 0, semicolon, I is greater than, no, I, when it starts and when it stops, it'll stop when I is greater than whatever the thing is we'll be working with, the length. God, we really should be doing, like, Code Wars. I wanted to jump between Code Wars and Free Code Camp every day, or do something from Free Code Camp and do a Kata from Code Wars daily, which I think we're just going to have to implement that, because I feel rusty as right now, and it is no bueno. This is bad times. Bad times. There should be a for somewhere in this nightmare. So for blankety blank, curly nonsense, and do something. This is also going to have something disappointing in here, roughly. Just a shot in the dark. There's a 98% chance that there's going to be a semicolon involved. And possibly even a return, maybe. Shot in the dark. For loop. For blankety blank. Death. Why can't we remember anything? 194 days. And when you don't code or use whatever language for, like, maybe 10 days, it just disappears. Can you believe that? Unfriggin' believable. Speaking of disappearing, don't mind me, don't mind me. Issues here in the homestead with noise and things. So graceful. So graceful. That is just, oh god, look at that. Look at that. Good, good, good. Beautiful. Just things and stuff. Crisis averted. That's all that matters. I kind of want to Google double checking how to set up a for loop properly, but I also want to pet Little Kitty. That seems far easier to pet the cat, but we're gonna check for loop stuff. JS for loop v3. Aha. MDN. I can't believe we forgot how to do a for loop. It's soul crushing, really. Stack Overflow. I vibe well with Stack Overflow's layout suggestions. It feels right. It is just for. It's for blank, blah, blah, blah. Less than. Really, it's less than? Oh, God. So ours would have given us, yeah, less than again. You soulless, forgetful son of a mother. God damn bastard. Okay, so that's cool. At least we solved that mystery. See, variable here. So function stuff, we got number selected 0, for variable, blah, blah, blah. I is less than blankety blank dot length. If. So we can throw up an if solution. and we're just going to have ourselves a 4-if party, and shit's going to get weird. In Java, now Java, JavaScript, yeah, it's all one and the same, right? At least a day 194, it's close enough. String, my string, hello, blankety blank. Oh, they're using a Java example. Is that possible in JavaScript? Well, we're not really interested in that bit, so let's go ahead and it's the plus equals thing. I always struggle with that. But we're going to do an if loop. I think that really would help balance out what we're looking for, because if X's and O's are equal, return true, else everyone can go jump off a cliff. At least that's what it was kind of indicating here. As long as they're equal, the world keeps spinning. As soon as it's off balance, everything blows up. So we've got our for loop, which doesn't need any additional question marks. This question-free zone. And this would be string? Is that what string is going to be? For blah, blah, blah. Yes, select object, select object. So it's string. How nice is that? But then they've got number selected, and it's number selected plus plus. So inside the if loop is where we'll reference our variables. Good to know. Good to know. Which tab were we on? Here we are. So we're getting stringy. Boom. Hashtag string life. Changing the caret from greater than blah 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 to less than. That way our nightmare ends instead of perpetuating on infinitely into our 40s. It will come to a swift and silent end. Actually, we're not quite there yet, so what are we doing? Here, we just had it. Thanks, Steven. Thank. I really want to just... The cat's napping, and I want to nap, and it's after midnight. There's no reason to be coding at midnight. Unless you told yourself you were going to learn how to code for a year, and then you're stuck in this position. Son of a bitch. Okay. We're gonna figure this out, little kitty. Me and you, alright? Something that rhymes with a variable. If. Nothing rhymes with if. Kind of like nothing rhymes with orange. If blank? Is that right? If blah blah blah. Our condition with curly nonsense. If blank is equal to blank, return true. Okay, like, I can see it in my head. You know what sucks? Is looking at this, it doesn't help. But as soon as I, like, go away, or if I'm only looking at this, like, conceptually, I can see what's needed. But as soon as I look at what I have, it's so disappointing. I guess the way I would equate it is if you're building a house from scratch, and you're just looking at a dirt lot with some wooden beams, it's not exactly inspiring to keep going. You really can't envision the house, but when you aren't looking at the empty dirt plot with a couple beams, if you just close your eyes, you can see what the house should look like. It's very easy. Everything seems basic. But then as soon as you open your eyes and you go to deal with the task at hand, you're left with your disappointing dirt lot. And that's what I'm looking at now. My plot of disappointment. And then I get confused on what the next step should be. Death, death, death. Okay, so we had our if statement with our conditions. Long story short is that as long as X is equivalent to 3, as long as x is equivalent to O. Is that right? That already seems off. I feel like there needs to be a greater than or something else, or a dot involved. No dot involved. No greater than stuff. Like if x were greater than, this is where the else statement will come in later. If blank is blank. Well, we'll keep forging ahead. That's what we'll do. So we've got our curly brace. Return if blankety blank. Return true. Else. God, I don't even remember how to write an if-else statement. You bastard. What did Free Code Camp do to us? They totally had us hyper-focused on HTML and CSS for the last, like, week and a half or 2 weeks. JavaScript hadn't even crossed our mind once. Else... blankety blank, which returns false. And I think it's really straightforward. If it's... Is that right? Do we have everything? We've got our for loop and our opening parentheses. Then we have our if statement with its parentheses. That doesn't seem right either. If open else return false. Who's this guy? Who's on line 11? Nobody invited this guy to the party. How the did he get here? What am I even looking at? 4. We can get rid of that. In general, this seems relatively okay. If x is equivalent to 0. No, if x is equivalent to O, return true. Else, return false. I don't think 11 needs to exist. That seems okay. Ah, bastards. So, what else are we looking for? Let's do if-else, since we can't remember anything. God. Can you believe that? I just can't believe after like 10 days of not Code Wars and not using JavaScript, how much of our, not necessarily knowledge, obviously we still remember the gist of it. We've done multiple courses at multiple sites now. But how quickly the confidence fades away. I am surprised to see that. Not that we were ever really 110% sure of what the hell we were doing, but we were close enough to at least keep going. I think we can get rid of just all this noise. Yeah, that's not helping anyone. JS if else. W3 DC MDN Stack Overflow. Oh, the ternary statement? Trinary. Ternary. It's ternary. We do like our ternary statements. Those are fun. They're concise, travel size. You don't have to check a bag with it when you go flying. You know, so that's cool. That'll save you cash if you just exclusively use ternary statements. But you can only use one or two. It's not actually true. Okay, if condition blah, block of code executed if it's true. Okay, so if it's true, I think we're set. We're totally overthinking what we're doing. That's normal. It's been 194 days of overthinking. Completely standard for our regular stuff. Maybe yeah, I'm just totally overthinking it. Everything's fine, everything's great. Let's just go ahead and run this, and hopefully the internet doesn't blow up. Run test sample. Okay, good. Nice. Why did the true ones pass? If anything, I felt the false ones would have been the ones to pass. Was the O? No, it wasn't the O's. Expected false instead got true. If X is equivalent to O, maybe we only need 2? Yeah, no, that didn't help anyone. And if X equals O, that's just gonna really piss off everybody. Well, now look at that. Now all the false ones work. Expected true instead got false. So I'm clearly doing something. We're on the edge. We're on the cusp of figuring it out. We're right here. How the hell is it that 1 equals sign gets us 3 successful false tests, and 2 or more gets us true tests? So something's wrong, and I think it's not the code. I think it's me. I know the code is wrong, but I'm the source of the code, so I'm the problem. Okay, we're good. Happy thoughts, Steven. Son of a bitch. If it were 12:23 in the middle of the night on a Thursday and you were trying to figure out a JavaScript issue, what would you do? You would... Currently, the only answer I'm coming up with is jumping out the window. Doesn't necessarily seem to solve the problem, but it certainly means we don't have to deal with it from there on. Greeting. Okay, if after hour 18, which would be, what is that, 6 o'clock? Greetings, good day. If it's greater than that, good evening. Okay, well, death. I guess because it's after midnight, we've passed the 24-hour mark, so I guess they'd greet us with good day. They don't really have a breakpoint referenced here, so... do we need the if else stuff? We were looking at it, and we're looking, and we're like, see, greater than. This is where we want to be. Conditional statements, blah, blah, blah. Great. If statement, block of nonsense. Note that if or if, blah, blah, blah. Good. The else statement. If condition, blah, 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 true, else, block of code, if the condition is false. Return false. That's what they wanted. Son of a... Hey! Null 513. What are you trying to do? First of all, welcome Null513. We are trying to... Where to go? Oh god, we're lost. I mean, that part's obvious. Instructions. Simply put, as long as O's and X's balance out equal, an equal number of O's and an equal number of X's, we want it to return true. If it's offset, greater, less than, whatever, 3 X's, 2 O's, false. 2 X's, 2 O's with a friendly M included, doesn't slow the X's and O's down, still true. ZP, ZP, ZPP, still true because there's no X's and there's no O's, so they're on equal ground. ZOO, 2 O's, no Z's came to the party. Bad times for everyone. So that's what we're trying to do. It's been almost 2 weeks without having to use JavaScript, and frankly, I've just forgotten everything. Not everything, but, like, the confidence to do it, really. And I feel like I'm really close, but I also feel like I'm missing something crucial, and, frankly, the output hates me. I got to the point where 1 equal sign returns 3 false, and 2 or more equal signs, run test sample, returns positive true, but false ones for there. So I feel like there's an issue with that. Again, same results with 3, but that's what's going on. Split it into an array and compare it. Aha! We're splitting it into an array. Good, good, good. Okay, so that's cool. So that means death. What does that mean? Can I do that easily? I know. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Null513 comes to save the day with hints of inspiration. Nonsense. Don't mind me. Some scratch pad to think aloud, if you will. Dee-da-dee, la-da-da-da. Beautiful, beautiful. So I know there's a split something that will turn our friend string into something which will go somewhere around there. Split will do something. Isn't there a bit involved? Wow, little kitty, really? You're just gonna start sleeping all over the, what is that? The control and the Z and the shift key? How about you've got the whole rest of the desk to nap on? Why don't you just shimmy? We're gonna move you. That's okay, that's okay. I know the In-N-Out cup is wet, but it's just condensation. There you go. Alright, if we haven't addressed it recently, there is a sleeping feline 6.5 inches away from my chestal region, so she's taken up all the good real estate on the desk. Yeah, watch the escape key, you furry demon. Okay, good, good. Glad we aren't distracted. String split, I don't remember if there was a thingy involved, but it also needs to equal something. There needs to be a variable that's going to be storing an empty array, I think. God, I don't remember any of this. How is it after 10 days of not using JavaScript and doing all the basic stuff at Free Code Camp, we forgot everything? That's just astonishing. String split, this will be death. It's going to be something. What do we want to call it? We will call it string array. Not a pretty name. I understand that, but we lack creativity at 12:29 in the middle of the night. So we have our string array. It's going to end up somewhere around there. And our string splitting. What else did we need to split a string? JS.split. Prototype. Stringy goodness. I know we're getting close. String split. Blah. Oh, that's right. That's right. So what do we have it break it up as? We want to break it up on the O's? No, we don't need to break up on the O's. And then here, so down here is where we're going to have string array, and we're going to be comparing stuff, ideally. I think that's what's happening. Although, yeah, I want to type in all these signs, but they all mean everything. This is going to... Oh, actually, that didn't... That'll comment stuff out. So we'll do forward slashes. Ta-da! Cool. String array. Something's getting compared. I think. Split it into an array and compare it. Okay, okay, we'll do that. Don't mind this. This is just noise. This is just noise. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's set this up here and hope for the best, shall we? Variable string array. Does that need to be inside the for loop, but before the if? Blank, blank, blank. I don't know if it needs to be inside. Maybe it does need to be inside the for loop. Maybe all of this stuff needs to be inside the for loop. I'm telling you, this is the last day that I go 10 days without using any particular language. I know we've jumped down from using 35 languages and trying to learn them all, and we've been focused. I thought focusing on all the free code camp stuff was going to be beneficial, but we weren't planning on coming back to Code Wars today. We figured, hey, give it a shot. Shouldn't be too difficult. Clearly I was wrong. String splitting. How are you doing? So we need single quotes inside there. With a semicolon. So there's that bit. And what else does one need? Little Kitty, if you have any ideas, feel free to shout out answers. String dot split separator and limit. Don't even remember what all of that. No. String split, and that's just empty. How are you doing? Versus... Holy foo. Okay. Well, that's okay, because we want every single one to be broken up. But then what are we doing? From there, once we break it up, then we're comparing. So it's string split like this. Variable, that's our string. Our string's getting split, and it equals... It equals... our array. Is that right? Let me close some of this nonsense. Condition statements. We're so close. Yet so unbelievably far away. Do something and do something. Do I need to set up... See here, okay, variable array of strings. String to split, blah, blah, blah. Split, the terms of the separator, an array of strings. So maybe... I don't need to set up an empty array. Do I need to set up an empty array? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. Let's get rid of that. Drop it in here. So maybe we don't need any of this. No, we do need that. We need all of this. I feel like I should check some of my past CADAs that I've completed, because I know, like, the last 10 CADAs leading up to this one, a lot of them were using the same thing. And we were using the split functions, and a smattering of other methods, almost daily to solve. It was just, like, changing the order of the methods that we were using, but it was like the same 3 or 4 methods over and over. We've got an excess of semicolon in our life. All right. We're heading on the right track. String array, blah, blah, blah. What if we just do an if-else statement? Would that be weird? I feel like that would really break it down even further. Else if followed by else. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I know it's not fun or clever, but we're not fun and clever yet. We are still learning how to figure out, what if we do we can get rid of string array and we just do a basic. If x is greater than O, return false. This would be true. And if x... God, there's a much simpler way to write this. Is less than O. Why is it in the middle here? That looks so awful. There we go. There we go. Return false. God, this is just hideous. Let's get rid of all this noise. And we're gonna comment this out. Yeah, let's try that. Still super pissed at everything we're suggesting. Not gonna work. Not going to work. Let's uncomment this. No need for that. If string array something, if we're, okay, so we're splitting the string into arrays. How do we take all the O's in the array and count them? Damn. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna Google it. We're not good enough. Yes. CODEWARS. Oh, no, we don't want that. Solutions. What about... check to see if a string has the same amount of X's and O's. That's what we're looking for. GitHub. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, why not? CODEWARS K to check to see if the string is the same amount of X's and O's must return a Boolean. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Method must return a Boolean and be case insensitive. Is that really what happened? Am I just totally... Oh, the method must return a Boolean and be case insensitive. So, in addition to all of this, which I still need to set up that properly, I just totally forgot the whole case insensitive part as well to top it off. So we need to be returning the statement. Is it string? Little kitty, you have to move your face. There needs to be like a string array. Where would be the best point to make it lowercase dot? Is it just lower or lowercase? I can't remember after Python and PHP and Ruby and all the weird shit too. Is it really too lowercase? That seems so long for JavaScript. I thought it was so much cooler than that. Which language is it where it's just dot lower? Doesn't matter. That's not going to solve our problem. So dot lower. Oh, they're doing string dot lower out of the gates. Fascinating. Huh. I was going to do string dot lower on the array itself. Well, that's good to see that we at least got the array part set with the string dot split. Oh, what's going down? Null 513. Would you like a solution? Just return 1 or 0. I could use a healthy sized hint, if you will. I mean, if you're wanting to throw out a solution, I could be into that. But just return 1 or 0. One? I'm confused. I'd like to note that, yeah, crazy person and, tired. That wasn't a full or complete sentence, but I think it really gets the point across. Probably the best. Yeah. Trying to guide me is like trying to guide a cat by smoke signals. If you as the viewer are up to the challenge, you are more than welcome to try to assist. But yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. We are easily confused. It's one of our superpowers. Infinite confusion. So maybe we won't need all of the additional tabs. Although I feel like the one we were looking at was pretty close. So array, this will at least help us visualize. The string contains any characters. X and O string. String equals string.to lowercase. Okay, cool. Make the string lowercase because we're case insensitive. That makes sense. Put the string into an array, which Null so kindly hinted at before. Took us a while to piece it together, but we did end up with essentially the exact same kind of thing. And so that's a good step in the right direction. From there, variable count x. See, this is the bit we weren't ever going to get. So we needed to set up a count x variable, which was the array of characters reduce. I've never used the reduce function. Maybe I've used reduce once. but I don't really recall it. So if there's a simple, boring way to reduce something, that would be awesome. That would be more, whatever the way to pull this off, like 2 or 3 notches of coolness below this answer, that's where I'm at. Like the ground zero level 1 version of this dot not reduce, that's where I'm at. Count the O's, same song and dance, but for the O's, and then we've got the if. See, right there, we've got all the goodness set. It's this part that we gotta work on. And I know I could just copy this and carry it over, but I don't really get what's going down. True story, not gonna lie. I mean, we can piece it together and figure it out. So we've got variable count x equals array of characters, this guy, which is the split up version of this. And it's going to be reducing. We'll take the function n in the value. We're going to return n down here. And we're going to add the value if it's equivalent to x. Then something involving a 0. No. It feels wrong. Maybe it's starting at 0. Maybe that's what they're trying to say. I bet you that 0 indicates that the base value is starting at 0. That's what I'm thinking. That's what my nightmare looks like. What are we looking at? So we have here JavaScript beginner, which we most certainly are. CODEWARS questions, came across question, stuck, cannot read property, length, null, error, can't figure it out, assignment, checking if things are happening, sounds like me. Sinking in a boat full of confusion. We've got our variable x and our variable o. Matching. Where are all these people learning these cool tricks? Were we asleep? Did we miss that day of JavaScript kindergarten? And just now we're left behind? See, he's using an or. Oh, compare it to something. Just return 1 or 0. Damn. Why am I not clever enough? While loop. Why the deuce is he using a while loop? Oh my god, nobody move. Little kitty's dreaming. Her little toes are flicking all around on the desk. Hey. Go to sleep. She's still sleeping. Good. We are really... We can see the sanity just plummeting. We're totally losing it. Our delirium is growing exponentially. How can I check if a string has the same... I didn't like their example because I left more confused than not. This will not give you that error when there are no matches. I feel like we're so close. This one, we may end up stealing these. And after going through and kind of reading through it, I do feel more comfortable, especially as we look through the other examples online. It definitely seems the most concise, at least that I've come across. Although this is an interesting one. Yes, you have to check the return value of match is not null before the length property. However, while string.length of x is greater than -1, or string.index of 0, o, not 0, but o, is greater than -1 if blankety blank return true. Damn. Alright, I think we're going to steal the other two. Unless you've got some beautifully concise answer. That makes sense to us as a recommendation, but I don't think it's going to get much better than that, considering our current level of understanding. Even though we haven't used reduce yet, we can still see how it works. It's pretty straightforward. See, regular expressions. God, I still need to read up on regular expressions. Because look at that. That is, and we understand what that says as far as regular expressions go. It's going to be focusing on all the x's. Global, case insensitive, G and I. Global, case insensitive. So number x, number O, new regular expression. If number x tests string and number O tests string. If blank equals blank, dot length, and dot length, return. Aha. The length. If... Damn, we're so close. What's that, little cat? You're pissed and confused too? What do you know? That makes two of us. Alright. Let's do this. Let's throw it in. Not the regular expression one. This is cooler than the other option, but we're going to stick with this guy here. So, we're going to need to do some doctoring, though. Why can't we... There we go. There we go. Our ability to highlight is hindered by our failing trackpad after all these years. After the for loop, we're going to forget the string. So count, we could leave it as count x. And we can call this string, little cat, you're knocking things over, string array. We still have to do some corrections, so that is good. Count x would be our new variable. Were they updating count x? No, that's just their variable, is count x as a whole. So we can call these, so these are our variables that we have above string. So we should fix all that stuff. So string dot split. Should we do 2 lowercase? Does that make things weird? Is that wrong? 2 lowercase? I know it's not wrong, but it doesn't feel great. Not gonna lie. It doesn't look pretty. That's the issue. So here, we can get rid of this noise, and we'll call it variable XX and OO. XX and OO. This will be string array reduce n value n0. Let's copy these guys. Well, let's get rid of those. We don't necessarily need the comments. We're cutting. And we're pasting. Now here, what do we need for the for loop and the if loop? I actually don't think we need a for loop anymore. I think it's just x equivalent to O. And I think we're set just based on that alone. Yeah, we no longer need the for loop because that's what all of this glory is being. It's taking care of all that fun for us. Awesome. You know what? And looking at this, we're going to need a parentheses as well. There's that. Death to the for loop. Let's move that back one. We can get rid of this guy. We can actually move... Do we worry about moving all of those back one? I don't think we need to. Wait a second. Wait a second. That wasn't part of the for loop. That last one was part of the function. The one we wanted to get rid of was this guy. That's better. Okay. And let's move that back too. I think we may actually have... Oh, we forgot it. We forgot it. Return if X and O are equivalent, return true, else return false. Okay, we basically had to update everything. Wow, you are... Look at this. I would like to highlight... No, tiny cat. Let me see your little furry hands. Are we looking? Are we looking at this? These? Kitty paws. Yes. Everyone relish in the glory. There's a tiny feline, a furry feline, on the desk. Good little kitty. Good. No, don't rest your head on the escape key. Bad cat. You're millimeters away from the escape key. Look, we just got to the end. All we have to do is run it, and then we can turn off the stream and just hang out. Me and you, tiny cat. Me and you. Till the Earth crashes into the sun. Or, like, you know, at least up until, like, 12 billion years before that? 14? How much more time do we have on this rock? Like another 14 billion years before it crashes in? Or is it more like 80 billion? When does that... We're going to Google it. We're going to Google it. Earth crashing into sun expected date. Oh, great. Yeah, October 2017. Typical. How long? Do. Well, no one wants to answer our question. 65 billion years. We were off. We first guessed, oddly enough, we guessed 14 billion years initially, and then 80. We'll round it up to 15. If we were to subtract the 15 from 80, that's 65, so we had, we'll call it half credit. We'll call it half credit. Let's go ahead and close out all this nonsense. Yes, good. Alright, so, me and you, little kitty, we've got 65 billion more years to hang out and learn to code before all of time ends as we know it. Speaking of time ending and activities, let's run the sample. Ta-da! Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee! Huzzah! Yay! Green smiley face. We did it. Good times. Let's get rid of this one extra space, because that's just mocking us, sitting there quietly, staring at us, judging. Let's go ahead and submit this as our final attempt, and then see what all the cool kids wrote for their answers. Look at that. Trues and falses and trues and some more false. Success. Submit final. Outstanding. Outstanding. Okay, so loading up. What did the cool kids have to say for their stuff? They submitted... Why is it loading so slowly? It's like really thinking about it. Here we go. Wow. So much more graceful than us. Function exostring let x string dot match x global insensitive o string dot match o global insensitive. So this is the regular expression route that we still need to learn how to use. Return x and x dot length equal o and o dot length. Ta-da! D. So where did we fall? We were probably far down towards the bottom. Constant, x and o, string dot lowercase to split. I would like to note that we did use this. Although we didn't call our string the same. We called our array string array, so we did update the name. But string dot filter, some lambda eness, nothing special going on with that. String dot replace, more regular expressions, things equaling out. Not a lot of creativity there. Well, I mean, nothing more than the first one, of course. More so than the first one. Where do we fall on this? We're getting close. Count-ish. Return blankety blank. Function and regular blah blah. No. We're trying to find how far down the list we actually fell. This is looking closer to us. Variable blank equals blank, string lowercase, array blah, if, and a for loop. So what did I need to do to pull it off? We needed to make that equal. Oh, the 0 plus equals 1 else. Blah, 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 sum x plus equals 1. Typical. This is pretty close. Not identical, but they still have the for loop. Wow, we're well past, like, position 10 or 15, so I actually don't think we're going to find ours. Not that we've ever found ours, but usually they indicate or we can see one that was very similar to what we submitted. But we're not even close. Good to know. That just highlights the fact that we really do need to return here to CODEWARS far more frequently and don't take 10 days off from using JavaScript when you're trying to learn programming and you're only 194 days into the year. So that's my pro tip to anyone else who's below day 194. Keep that in mind. Let's take a look at our profile, and then we will power this stream down and call it quits. We are now 66% of the way through level 7, and I thought there was another fun little profile area. Perhaps not. Home. Yes, home. Oh, no, it was back. I mean, home's fine and great and all, but, oh god. There we go. There we go. Look at this. 83,000. We started well above, like, I don't even know where we started. I just remember 160,000, but I think there was 200,000, 400,000. I don't actually remember or know how many users there are, but it was really high up there. So the fact that we're under top 100,000 now, kind of cool. I'm going to take that as a win. We live to stream another day. I'm backing out of CODEWARS, jumping over to OBS. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream. Noel513, thank you for the tips and assistance. And anyone else who may have accidentally stumbled in here to view the stream, thank you very much. Any and all views are greatly, greatly appreciated. The adventure continues tomorrow with day 195. But in the meantime, we are stopping the stream. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.